Good evening. So yesterday we have done uh, a small program about this thing, about the calculator, the complete program we did, how we use a small function to get all the detail information. This thing. And today we'll start off with uh, the supermarket project. So this is the first screen you're seeing now. These are a few builds which I have created from a fictitious company. So these are the, you can call it customers or suppliers or whatever it is. So suppose you go to a supermarket, they will give you a bill like this, wherein this is the address, name of the company, address, and then after phone name and bill number, you have date, serial number, description. Like that, I've made about 10 bills. Okay, 10 bills. To make the matter a little more interesting, what I've done, each company I've made 2 bills from each company. For example, two engine company year one. This is one bill, bill number 776. These are the items bought. And then afterwards, another one, another thing, bill number Q987. These are the items bought. Similarly, like in Ravi Brothers also we have got. And so here I've got one Ravi Brothers, bill number R345, and another bill number as the here R451. So similarly like that, I've made about 10 bills, and then we will see how we have to. Actually, we have got to store this into our SQL Server database. SQL Server database, as you might know, it is a database having. Okay, let me create a new project here because I want to. Let me call this project as here. Let me put it as desktop. Okay, and then after the Windows Form application, Windows Form again .NET framework. Okay, fine. And then after next, and I'm going to create here a project CRJ. Say I think so Y supermarket. Okay. You can write any name, but I'm just keeping this name. And here solution name, I want to change the solution name to SLS supermarket. And then afterwards, I go and create this thing. Okay. So in the meantime, let us go back here and see what now this SQL server. You know, it is there. It is there in a row and column format, just like Excel. We have got to make it into row and column. But these are all grouped. The bill, each bill is grouped. You know, I hope you understand by what I mean. Each bill is grouped. For example, Suraj and Company is grouped with the same, the bill number and date and all. This is one thing. And so if I want to make it into all uh, rows and columns, I can. This is one way of doing it. Rows and columns. And so here you see here How I've done. Each bill, the bill items which we have bought is about this only are the items, but for each and every item, I have just duplicated the bill 776 so that I can just put it in column and the row format. Then afterwards, what we have to do is now we have got to remove all the duplicated fields here. The 776 all duplicated here, duplicated here. For this particular bill number, 5 times I have written here, 5 times the bill date. Of course, another insurance company and company will be here. For that is a different one. That is a different bill number. So that's a different bill. So, but here in one bill itself, the insurance company 5 times I have written here. So this is the first way of making it into row and column format. So that now I'm a little bit satisfied that I will be able to store this data. I can store this data if I want directly into SQL Server, but let us refine this data a little bit so that we will we'll optimize the data, remove all the duplicated fields, and see what we can do about this thing. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the duplicated fields here. I mean, sorry, calculated fields here. For example, this amount is calculated. 45 multiplied by 3, I'll get 135. So this is a calculated field. And this also is a calculated field because it's total of this amount. Here it will be 2360 which I have written here. And this also is a calculated field, 2.5% of 135 to 2360 is 59, and 2.5% of 2360 is again 59. So this also is calculated field. Two fields are calculated. So I want to remove all the calculated fields. The first thing, or the first thing what I want to do. So I remove the calculated fields here. So when I remove the calculated fields, this is the original table present, and this is the second table. The table a little bit it shrinks because I've removed a lot of fields here. For example, amount is gone, total amount is gone, SGST percentage, IGST amount, CGST amount, everything is gone. These are the actual values, and these are not duplicated. These are not calculated or something like that, but still there are a lot of duplications of that in this table. Now to make this duplications, duplications, if you want to remove the duplications, right? There's one process. The process is called normalization. So when we normalize a table, that is, we have got to, you will see that we have got to create something called a primary key, which connects two tables, which we split the table into two and connect the one table with another table with something called a key, primary key, and a foreign key. And that's how we'll be able to remove these duplicated fields. Say, for example, here, customer and this thing here, if I'm going to do table, I'm going to do here. This is the original table. And here, what I do is I take all the customers and put in a table of its own. You know? And then afterwards, I here in the original table, I create a new field, my field called customer ID. Customer ID I create, and afterwards I make it into here. I put now if I want to know who customer 001, I've got its own table. Customer 001 is Suraj and Company. So now this customer 001 in this table, in this particular table, this is unique for this row, So this is there will not be any two customer IDs for the same company. Same record. You can call this as a record, the row as a record, and the column as the field. So here there is unique here, but here it can be duplicated. Here it's duplicated because I want to compare contact this with this thing. So this will be a sort of a duplicated field here, right? Here it will be duplicated, but here, but now you see how much data we have shrunk. All this totally is shrunk to a lot of things, and then after it has become a small table. Just I made it into two tables. The next one is I'm going to split the one more time. Now the products I want to split. Here now the products also I want to split. If I want to see the product here, now the product table becomes the original table becomes so small now. Only the product here, product ID is there, and then after here becomes the customer ID. This table is already present, and then it becomes the product ID, and then the product ID also I am going to split there into now. For example, product group also I've written here. I make it product group here. Product group also I make, and product ID here now. I hope you are able to understand this one. And you see here, this is again the same thing. But now afterwards, I split it into this thing, and you see, this everything becomes only one. The customer ID one, and then after I got your bill detail ID, bill ID connected to bill ID. So you just have to go through this 2 or 3 times. This is called the process of normalization, wherein you split the tables. Split the tables into here. This is the table 4 and table number 5. And then afterward, what I'm getting is I'm getting a sort of another table here. This is as a sort of a byproduct of this thing called the inventory. That actually has to be in the other this thing. So now I'm getting another one thing, but this one let it be. I'm just kept it for your understanding. So we will see about this one later on. But now we have got here totally how many tables? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 tables we have got here. We have come very far from this from our original this thing here. Okay, so six tables we have got here. Now what we'll do is this 6 table we'll put it in. We'll put it in our SQL server. I've already created one table, one SQL server here called supermarket. See here. And then afterwards, I created these tables here, and I put and I put all the data into this table. If you want, we can go through this SQL server. Okay, we will go through the SQL server. So how do we go to the SQL server? We have, I think so. You must have downloaded this thing called the SQL server SSMS now. So SSMS, if you go to SSMS, so we have got here. Okay. No, I'm opening. I'm opening SSMS here. And here, what you can do is you can create the tables manually as well as by script. Manually actually is very easy. So you must have tried doing that one. I'll just tell you how to do it manually and how to do it. But here I've got a small problem here. My manual thing is not working here. So I'll just show it to you how. Okay. The SQL Server is loading now. And what I can do is I can go here, here Visual Studio also it's got a very nice interface for SQL for SQL Server. So what we can do is we can just go here and we can connect to server. So you can write the server name, for example, here is MS that SQL Access. You can write here the name, then after that for the database name, you can create one database called supermarket here. Okay, fine. Once we create the supermarket, what we'll do is we just go into here. There is something called queries. Okay, here you go in here in the table itself. In the table itself, what you can do is okay, SQL Server is already loaded here. So just come here. Fine. Now this is my SQL Server. SQL Server. I just connect it with the server name, and it gets connected, and here it comes here. So I just have got to go here. I have to go here and slash and go to databases, right click and new database, and then I type the new whatever the database name if I want here. Okay. So that is manually we can create the database, and then after we can create the tables also similarly. But now let me create the tables. Say for example, take some time. Take some time. Here, for example, what I can do is I can connect to server. Then after I can here data connections, right click and create new SQL Server database. I just write the SQL the server name AHMED slash SQL Express. Okay, and the new database I can write it as say what I've written here, my supermarket. I can put it as Y supermarket. Okay, and I just click on OK. This will be created. This Y supermarket whether this thing will be created here. Fine. This already exists spelling. So I can just create here, say O supermarket, and it will come here. Okay. So here, see a lot of, see here already your supermarket, my supermarket, everything is already has been created. Here you can go there, right click, and new database can tell, and we can create the new database. But here is SQL server for me is not creating the new database. So I just created it from here itself. So and now if I'm going to go here and I'm going to refresh data connections, so my O supermarket also will come. Here O supermarket has already been created here. Now here, this is for the here. Now the database I what I can in SQL server is already come here. I can write the database name and click on OK to create it. Right. Then once I create the O supermarket, here O supermarket I've already created here. So I can just click on. I can tell refresh. So my O supermarket will also come here. If it is not coming, we can do one more thing. The O supermarket has already come here. Fine. And here the tables will be just blank, right? Just the two tables are there, which is internally for the SQL server. So those tables we should not touch at all. So those tables will be one will be model or something like that. Uh, system tables will be there. See here, if I'm going to go here tables here. Only this table which are necessarily coming here. But if I'm going to go to SQL server, and then after what I can do is I can create the system tables are there. You can go and see what are the system tables. You can go see what are the file tables inside, and it will not allow us to open back now because it does not want to see. Here, what you can do is here create new table. You can just put table here, and the manually you can create it manually. So now if I tell you that put table there, for me manual C will come here, but it is not coming here because some problem is there. So now we'll try to create it in queries. Okay. So if you're going to create it in query, it's very easy. Just go to tables and right click on the table, and we can just put new query here. Okay, let me go for this thing and create here in O supermarket, right? You know, if SQL query 1 has come .sql, so I don't want to create it here. I will go here in SQL thing, and here I will go here. And so nothing, no tables are present there. Just click here and right click and add new query. And add new table if I'm going to put here, it's not coming because there's some problem. Now, if I'm going to put add new query, and the query is very easy. It is a SQL statement, that is structured query language. SQL, mind you, SQL Server is different from the SQL language. SQL Server, they have just copied it. Microsoft has copied the proprietary thing, the SQL Server. But actually, the language is the SQL query, that is structured query language for SQL. So SQL language, if you know, you can do almost all things there. So we will learn about 5 or 6 statements of SQL language. That is more fondly called as Transact SQL. That is TSQL. It stands for Transact SQL. So this the query will be like something like this. Okay. We can just tell here create table name. Okay. Create table. Table name is let me put it as customers. Okay. So create table customers I have written like here, and then afterwards you give the field names. So the first field name is say customer ID, which is the first field name. What actually exactly we have got here also, no? Customer ID. We normalize the table, then we got this customer ID here. So customer ID. So yeah, and one more thing is about this primary key. There is a primary key. We have got to make our primary key very clearly. You know, most of the people, even the Microsoft, everybody, take the primary key as a number, but I want to take the primary key as a string, so that we can, if you want, we can change the number if you want, but I want to put it as a string here. Okay, and then afterwards, so customer ID, then afterwards the data type of customer ID. So customer ID nchar, we have got here a lot of data types here. Nchar we have got, so we'll nchar 10 characters long. Okay, and we put a comma here. Then afterwards, customer name. Okay, and I can put here varchar 35 characters long, and then afterwards customer address 1 varchar. This also let me type as 35. Okay, and let me copy this time. Varchar. Okay, and customer address 2. Okay, and then customer city. Customer state. Fine, and customer city, state, country, and customer and phone and email, right? I can put varchar, let me not put it as 10, then let me put it as 15, maximum of 20 characters. Now, in the email, varchar, let me put it as 50. Okay, then the last character will be closing bracket. So opening bracket, see, I'm just here opening bracket and closing bracket, right? And closing bracket here, and then after everything comma, the last field will not be with the this thing. Then after just tell execute this query from here. That is, I'm going to here is execute. This is the execute query. I can execute this query. So incorrect syntax here. Create table customers. And, so where is the wrong mistake is there? Mistake. It must be there. Okay, I have to put a space here. Then afterward, it's command completed successfully. So if you go here and see now, one this thing called customers will be created. Like that, you can create all these tables here similarly. What I've already done here. Okay, now let me go here and see on. Here, oh, customers is already here. You can put here attach. Here, all my thing will come here. Okay, here please. Yes, I'm taking things from time. I just close this off. Go and save this. So likewise, you can create all these tables like customers, bill detail bills from our original tables here, right? Once we have created all the tables, okay? Yeah, here is all coming. This one. So once we create all these tables here, now what we'll do is okay, let me close out this. Fine. Now here table, we are going to refresh it. So what we got this customers table is already here we created with all the fields has come here, right? Now what we'll do is we just open this table, show table data. If you're going to tell show table data, it will have just without any record, it will show the table. And what we'll just do is we just go here and copy this. Okay. Copy this one and just go and paste it there. See, now it is here coming. Just click on the first row and right click and then paste. Right. So all the 5 customers will be pasted here. So likewise, I have created the all the 5 things. So you you see with the SQL command, SQL query, you can create it. I think so that is more easier than SQL thing. So what we have got the data is, we have got data as varchar and we have got data as nchar. And then afterwards, if you want to for the number, we can have it as floor double. We can create the have the number as double. Okay. And then after, if you want any Boolean value, you can have it as bool. Okay, fine. So now I have created all these tables here. See now, and also I have also copied everything and put it here. Right. Now we are ready to uh, start with our program back program. I mean, we have created our database. We have got all our data here. Here, all the data is just copied and pasted. Okay, fine. We have got everything, all the data here, and now it is time for us to get the data from SQL Server to our C sharp. So when I created this program, I just created it as form 1. So now let me rename that form 1 to form view customer. What we are going to do is, we are going to view each and every customer in this form. That is from the okay. We are just going to view the we take the customers and view each and every customer in this form. So now here, now you must be there already very familiar with this thing. We just go and create this thing form name as view customer. Okay, fine. View customer the form name, and then afterwards, and then I'm going to just put the 9 fields, nine this here. So let me put 9 tables here. 1. Okay, now let me put this as a global property for this form. I want to change the font to 14, size is 14, so that it becomes a little more bigger so that I can see it more. So label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I just put it here, 9. So, and then after that, of course, I want to also minimize this form. Okay, fine. So 7, 6, 5, that is note it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then after that, okay. Then I put one more label here and I put it here. And then I put so 9 more. So it should be 18. No? Right. So I put everything like this here. By now you should be familiar with this thing. I can do one more thing. I've got one more. Uh, Here I've got here format and align to the left. So everything comes properly aligned to the left. Right. So this is how I do it more easily. Then afterwards, I here from the property names here, I want to change the text property. Here will be customer name. Okay, this will be address one. Let me fix it off. Okay, let me take one on the right side. I can put also address two, address one, address just into a customer address. But let me put it like this. Address two, and then afterwards city. Let me copy this customer city, customer state, and then customer country and customer address one, address name, address one, address two, city, state, country. And then what we have got here. Address one, address two, city, state, country. Name, address one, address two, city, state, country, phone. So just with what we are missing. uh, I sorry, ID dams. So we just take it up. Okay. And I copy this thing and more take it down. Because this is the customer thing. If we have forgotten. So this is the customer ID. ID, country, code, and finally email. And this is just for me, just like first number, second number. No, I'm just showing now. Now the here, this is where I'm going to display the data. So this will all be LBL customer ID, both the name and the text. So I just want to copy top so that ID, the name also you can put similarly. Just paste this ID. Here, the second one is paste and name. Fine. Paste and this one will be paste and address one. A double B. Paste address two. Let's see what more. Yeah. This will be address to customer city. Customer state. Then country. Our country, and finally LBL phone. Just not writing the customer phone. Just to tell it is not necessary. You can write, you can name it as you wish. Okay. Fine. So now we have got this thing. We just save it. And now we have got to make the connection from C sharp to our this thing to SQL Server and get the data from that here. So we'll put that in the loading so that the first time it loads this thing, it loads so that the name the first customer is being shown. Of course, the data will be all there. Then we'll see how we can show all the data. We just double click here. We get to the form load. I told you about in the beginning. I told you about ADO.NET. No? So now how ADO.NET is now going to expose for us all these you know this properties of SQL Server, which is the main the main three things here to get the connector to get the data is the main. First, we have got to establish a connection from C sharp to SQL Server. The second one is we have got to give a command. Now, for example, the command is just a query what you've given, like you can tell select star from customers or insert into customers for inserting into the table, delete star from customers where you give the criteria and everything. But here now the most first three things is the connection, command, and the third one is the container is going to hold what the data which SQL Server sends back to C sharp. So this will be a container where it is going to hold the data. So once this data comes, we just take this data and we read the container, and then after we just display it to this thing. So so number one, what we have got to do is we have got to make the connection. So the SQL this thing connection it has made. See here, the SQL connection is not coming here. So one thing is we can do is we can right click here and we can show potential fixes. It is there here. It is there using system.data.sql client. What we can do is we can either just click here, or if the better still for you to be more, the thing can just write here using system. Okay, system dot data dot SQL client. So this is the SQL ADO. This is the ADO which is presenting, which is exposing all this thing. So SQL connection first is just like a data type now, and I've got to create a variable, sort of a variable, an object of the data type. This is my own object now. Okay, is equal to new SQL connection. So we just follow this blindly now for the moment. SQL command. Okay, my command. You get a new SQL command. Okay. The third one finally is SQL data reader. Data reader and my data reader. For this one, we should not put it as new. Okay. Why we should not put it as new? Because it is going to be an abstract class, and I will talk to you about abstract class now later on. So the first one is we have got to give the my connection. We have got to give the connection. So there's a property in my connection called connection string. So we write here my connection dot connection string is equal to, now what the connection string is going to be. The connection string is going to be going to be very, very simple. Number one, you can do is you can just go to this here. You can type connectionstrings.com. Okay. And you will get the various how each and every connection string for all the data present. See, for example, here is SQL Server also is here. See, SQL Server is here for everything. You know, Sybase. So also so many databases is there. You know, you see Ingress, Informix, Index Server, OData, Excel also is there. Excel also you can connect and you can get the data from Excel also. So all these connection strings you can just find out here. And but I'll tell you an easier method to do it. To have an easier method is one more thing here. What we can do is we can just go to this SQL server and via this is the which we are going to connect, right? Not this one. This is we just created this for dummy. This thing, but this is the actual supermarket we are going to create. Right click on this, okay, and go to properties. So on the properties side, you will see here connection string. So this can just take this connection string data source connection string, can just put copy the whole thing here and just put it here, right? And just put it here, and the connection string will be properly inserted. And then after you can put a semicolon, and here also you can insert also. Fine. So this is the connection string, and then afterwards, and see one more thing you see here, it is already made it as double slash. Whereas we have got the connection string, we have got only single slash, right? Single slash only we have got here, but automatically it created a double slash. This is called a escape character. If you want to know more about escape character, just Google for escape characters and know what is an escape character. But here I don't want to go into that detail now because that is depending upon the strings, we have got escape characters now. You can just write like this. Otherwise, what you can do is you can just, if you don't want to have the confusion, you can just write in the beginning, you can write it at the rate of. This will be the same as the escape character, the double slash here. See now, if you put correction string, okay. So now you can have either also how you want. At the rate of, you can put and then remove the one more slash, or else you can just without this thing you can put double slash. Okay, let me have it like this itself. So first we give the correction string, and then afterwards you go to my command. Then we give a command text. What is the command text you want here? Is our the SQL query. What we have got to write here. The query here is select star from customers. Okay. And then afterwards, then we have got to connect this both my command and my connection. So my command, if you're going to this, my command is the most important. If you can connection, you can, and then connection is equal to my connection. Okay. And finally, we execute this connection and we open the connection. So my connection dot open, right? And then afterwards, my reader, my data reader or my reader, if you want, I can just have my reader. Okay. I just put my reader. So that because it's more. My reader is equal to my command. You need not by heart this. If you want, you can by heart it, but it will become very easy to once you start doing it yourself, you will be able to write it yourself. Okay. So my command dot execute reader, if you write here. Okay. My command dot execute reader. And finally, we get my reader. Then we have got to read it. Okay. My reader dot read. And now we get all the data into my reader. So once we read it, we can just put it into LBL customer address dot text. I need not have it in the this thing. I can put then my reader. I have to put the table name. I mean, sorry, the column name. So customer address 1, right? And here you see here again there's a red squiggly here that means showing an error because my reader dot customer address is going to come as an object. We'll go into objects and classes and all those things later on and start studying about. Oops, So just for now, keep it the matter that it is going to be returned in the object, but here this is expecting a text, but we know this is only a text. So, but we have got to tell C# that don't worry, this is a text. So we do it like this. We put a string here and we do it like this. And then, so then afterward, we just copy the whole thing. Okay. LBL customer address 2, no? This is also address 2. And we will tell here, we'll just remove this one, come here, and come here. And we just copy this again. Search. Search. And then we have it as LBL customer. Control space we are going to put here. Okay. Here you are going to come here and put control space. We'll get this. So after this is city is there. So we write here also city. We just go this, minimize this city. And here country. And then ID. Then afterwards state. That's all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Too much there. One. ID name or phone. So it's not a customer, no? So it's just LBL phone. Right. And so this phone. And finally it is email. It's also the email. So we are ready to run the program now. So now if we run the program, if everything goes all right, we'll be able to see our first record on the screen. So the first record will be on the screen if everything is going all right. If I hope there is no error. So there you are. So very good. We have got the first record on the as you can see, we have got the first record here. So you see how easy it is. We just made the connection. We had the command, three things: connection command and the data, the container, and we gave the connection string and the command text and the connection to the thing and open and the execute reader and the read and read the record and put everything here. Now the next one is I want to create one drop down here. Okay, so let us see another one new control, which is called the drop down menu. So here I'm going to create a drop down. It's called a combo box here. Okay, I'm just going to put a combo box. I'm just going to bring this combo box here, and I'm going to name this combo box as CBO for combo, and then customer ID. What in fact I'm going to do here is now I'm going to put all the IDs inside this. Okay, all the IDs inside this, and then afterward, whenever I'm choosing any ID, the record for that particular ID should be displayed here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save all. So now what I'm going to do here is, okay, let me take everything here. And I'm going to read this and I'm going to put it in. So let me just comment this out for the moment. I can just comment it. I can put CBO customer ID dot. I've got the property of the thing called items, and then in the items I've got an add method, wherein I'm going to add the customer ID. That is, I'm going to add this one. I'm going to add this one, right? So I've added one. Then similarly, I'm going to read again. That is the next, it will read the next record and then add again another one. And again, I can read, again, I can add. So I can add, keep on adding, but the problem is I've got only 5 records. So the sixth record, when going to read, it's going to throw an error. It's going to tell there are no more records here. So what we can do is, we don't know how many records are there in the database. Okay. So here let us first run and see whether we are getting where we are getting correct. So 3 records should be present now. 3 different records. Okay. I mean 3 customer ID should be present. Now it doesn't see 3 record customer ID will be present. And okay, let me just try this. It's not a little more bigger. And then start the program. Okay, before doing that, now here if you see, when I'm starting the program, the first record is going to come as blank, right? It's going to be blank. Only when I'm going to click here, it's going to come here like this. Now what I want is, I can just do like that here. I can write anything else also. But the thing is here, the main important thing is I should not allow the user to type anything here. So have to prevent that one. And the first thing is, as soon as the form loads, this customer ID should be on the first screen instead of the blank one. Okay. Now first let us see how to how not to allow the user to write anything. For that you can go to the properties of combo box, and then you see one property called style. Okay, drop down is there. That drop down, when you make it as a drop down list. When you make it see already it's become this thing. Now we are going to start this one. Now you will not be able to write anything. Yeah, you just come here, you're not able to write anything. It's not allowing me to write anything. I can just choose here, and then after I can. But down here, the first thing itself for me, it should be this thing. So now, just before that, what I want to do is, I want to put all these things together. So we'll use a loop here. Okay, we just remove all these things. We put in here, and we will use a loop called for each loop, which we did for the strings in for this thing here. But here we are going to for each. What is the word? No, sorry, not for each loop. While loop, while. Okay, while my reader dot read, that is still it's able to read a record. So when it's not able to read the record, it just come out of the loop. My reader dot read. Okay, this one. So now what to do till my reader dot read CVO customer ID dot items dot add. So add what? Add this thing. So So now all the 5 records are going to come here. But still now we have not yet solved the problem of bringing the first record on the first years here. But 5 records have come. I'm just when I put it. Sorry. So this should be customer ID, right? Okay, let me save it and then bucket. Okay. Then after reading all these 5 records, then I'm going to give a simple command to to to, to make it come to the on the top. Okay, so now this is there. See 5 this thing is there. So now let us. So after reading this thing, I'm just going to give a command called CVO. That is customer ID dot selected index. That is, it's going to selected index is going to be 0. If I'm going to put 1, the second record is going to come. So the 0, the index position starts from 0. So 0 means the first record is going to come. So 1 means the second record is going to be coming, and 2 means third record will come. So now if I'm going to write like this here, so now that blank space will just be removed, and the first record will be shown on the screen. And here, right? Okay. Now we have now we have got to, whenever we are picking this one, this thing has to be changed, right? So for that, there is one more command. There's one more event for the combo box. We just double click, that event will be coming here. So what the event is? Selected index change. So whenever you are changing the index, do this. So what to do here? I will just have got to write the whole thing, this thing, everything here, right? But only one thing here is I'm just going to later on, I'll make it a function, and then afterwards we will do it. So now, so select start from customers here, okay, where I'm just going to put here where customer ID is equal to, so then I'm going to put here plus CVO dot text property of customer ID plus here. This is the command. Right. Select star from customer where customer ID is equal to. I'm just making a single inverted comma here. Then I'll be appending this customer ID and closing with a single inverted comma. So now and then afterwards, everything will be my executor read, then my reader dot read. Okay. And I'm just going to copy and paste that one. All these things. I'm going to take it out from here and put it there. And I'm going to uncomment this. So now this is going to be, there's going to be only one record of this thing, because I already told you the customer ID is going to be unique. So whatever you have written this thing inside the customer ID is going to be unique here. So now if you see here, I'm just going to, when customer index is equal to 0, this automatically this event will be fired, and this will be taken down. Here. Now I can just take it automatically changes. Fantastic, very good. Now once it changes, now what I'm just going to refactor. Refactor means I'm just going to make this three commands. Here I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put it on top, make it global. All right. And then afterwards, I'm going to put this my character as well. I can put it there itself, but let me put it here. Okay. And then afterwards, what I can do is, and then after what I can do is I can remove off this thing here from here. Okay. Then one more problem is once I make the connection string here, I've given the connection string here, I cannot just keep on changing the connection string. So I've got to remove this. Already my connection string is going to remain the same only. So don't worry about that. I will remove this also. And my command text will be same and my connection. But here I've opened the connection here, right? And again, I'm opening it caused an error here because I cannot open it without closing the connection. So suppose if I'm going to tell open it, see there'll be an error now. I have to close it, then only open it. See, the connection was not closed. The current state is open. So we have got to close it here first. We just close it here. So my connection dot close. Okay. Then open it. Okay, fine. Save it and run it now. So now you see it's coming out fantastic now. Same effect. We have just removed a lot of code from here. So now it is working perfectly. So this is how we are able to we will be able to get the connection. I mean connection, and then after be able to get it here. Fine. So I think so. This will be enough for today. And tomorrow, if you want, tomorrow, no, I think the day after tomorrow, we'll meet again, and then afterwards, we will see how to do for the next this thing. Okay, fine. Okay, so I'll see you tomorrow. See you on day after tomorrow. Bye bye. See you.